Eastwood is leading 19-7, and we'll be back right after this message.
Socorro Stadium in the Lower Valley, where we're just about ready to start the third quarter. 19-7 in favor of the Eastwood Troopers, defending 2-5A champions, trying to start a quest to defend that title.
19-7, and
Angel Ronquillo is set to tee the ball up. It is almost teed up. He's got to get it from the ref first. Back deep to receive for the Eastwood Troopers is going to be Ish Martinez, along with the dangerous one, Eric Jack, who's already been in the end zone twice in this ball game, Rob.
If I was if I was Socorro, I'd be saying, okay, let's do this right, and let's keep the ball away from Mr. Jack.
Socorro defense needs to stop the troop right here and get some points on the board. It's a high kick. It's going to be taken by Ish Martinez at about the 10-yard line. Martinez cuts upfield, takes on tacklers, and gets out across the 25 up to about the 28-yard line. Stop made on the play by number 82, Rick Tafoya for the Socorro Bulldogs. Going to be 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line as the Troopers come to scrimmage. Their offense, Hubert McGraw, Mike Merritt, George Figueroa, Frank Maldonado, the center, Quincy Randolph, Bobby Flores, and Brian Watson. The quarterback, Rocky Daly, the senior, Eric Jack, and Ish Martinez, the running backs. John McCartan is the flanker.
Now they go back into the huddle. They're saying, wait a minute. We don't know what play that we're going to call here. There's a little bit of a mix-up. And the crowd's starting to get behind them now, behind the Bulldogs. Daly's going to have to hurry and get this play off, or he'll have to call a timeout, or they'll get 5 yards.
1st and 10 from the 28-yard line, and the pitch back goes to Ish Martinez, looking to turn the corner, but he is turned back by Robert Cardiel. Maybe a fumble.
I think there is a fumble on this play, and it is recovered.
Socorro Bulldogs get a huge break. A huge break if they get this ball, Rob. Just what they needed. And they have the football. Socorro comes up with a huge defensive play on the Eastwood Troopers' first play of the second half. And they're going to take over the ball 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line of the Eastwood Troopers.
Number 31 coming up with the football. What a big turnover, making it 1st and 10, very, very deep in the Trooper territory. Let's see what the Socorro Bulldogs do offensively.
From the 22-yard line, split to the near side is Jackie Alvarado. They give it to the big fullback, Robert Cardiel, and he gets ahead for good yardage before the stop can be made by number 52, George Figueroa, the all-district player of a year ago.
Cardiel was the man who fell on that football, so Coach John Parsons was absolutely right. He doesn't come off the field. He's our big player on offense, also our big player on defense. He made the stop on that fumble.
Good yardage on that play, about 7 yards for Robert Cardiel, and he lines up at the fullback position once again on 2nd down and short. It's Cardiel, the inside give, and he's up for what appears to be 1st down yardage, Rob.
Looks like the Socorro Bulldogs went in and said, okay, guys, we got 26 yards rushing in the first half. We are not winning in the trenches. We do not have any penetration on the offensive line, pushing the defensive lineman back. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go out and we're going to run it down the Eastwood Troopers' throat so we can open up our throwing game.
1st and 10 for the Socorro Bulldogs at the Eastwood 12. They are threatening. They trail by 12 points as we have 11 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. And split to the near side is Jackie Alvarado in the backfield. Number 31, Robert Cardiel, along with Mike Trevino. And the give is going to go to Cardiel once again. He's been the workhorse on this drive. Short yardage and not much doing on that one.
Cardiel took a shot again, and he gets about 2 yards, maybe. Yeah, about 3 yards on the play. Would you say, Paul?
Let's call it about 2.5 yards. Little compromise action.
All right, that's good.
Gonna be
2nd down and 8.
2nd down and 8 for the Socorro Bulldogs. 10 yards away from a possible touchdown. Tony Torres brings the troops out. And he's going to bootleg the ball. Takes it around the left side, and he is met by George Figueroa, who didn't bite on that fake bootleg.
What they're trying to do is, hang on to the football and just hold it. And Tony Torres, just like Rocky Daly on the old quarterback keeper, will just put it on his hip and try to go to the outside. But Figueroa is not being held in there on the block. Watch Figueroa come through. Torres will hang on to the football. Figueroa sees it. Nobody touches him, and he plays the position perfectly and makes the tackle.
3rd down and about 8 yards to go for the Socorro Bulldogs, looking to keep this drive alive. Torres is back to pass. Whips it out to Trevino out of the backfield on the near flank, and he won't get much. Might have, in fact, lost a couple of yards on that play. Going to bring up 4th down and decision time for Coach Parchman. Looks like he got back to about the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I was going to say he just got back to the line of scrimmage. 4th down and about 8 yards to go for the Socorro Bulldogs. And when you're this close and you're this far behind, you still got the momentum with just under 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. You have to go for it.
Split to the near side, number 85, Raul Oaxaca. Ernie Mesa is on the right wing. Torres is back to pass, and he's under pressure from Jorge McNichol. He lets it fly, incomplete. Diving for the ball at about the goal line, Robert Cardiel, but it's going to fall incomplete. And the Eastwood Troopers are going to take over on downs as Socorro fails to punch it in the end zone off of that opportunity.
Watch the pressure that Trevino gets, I should say Torres gets from McNichol. He's all over him, grabs his shoulder, but still showing very good athletic ability. Tony Torres almost gets that play off to his big fullback. Makes it 1st and 10 inside the 10-yard line for the Eastwood Troopers.
Credit the Trooper defense with that one. A big play on 4th down, and now the Troop offense is back on the field, and they give it to the money man, Eric Jack. Cuts around the near corner and gets upfield for 1st down yardage. He's up to about the 25-yard line on a gain of 13 yards for Eric Jack.
That puts him over the 100-yard mark. No, he's very, very short, about 97 yards or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, if that's only 13 yards on the carry.
8 minutes and 53 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. 19-7 in favor of the Eastwood Troopers.
Let's watch the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. See if they grab the face mask on this play as the flag was down. Yes. Face mask on the play on the Bulldogs, so that'll give a big yardage on that play. And it'll be 1st and 10 as the Troop will have their back to the wall, and that'll open up the game plan a little bit more, play calling.
Net gain on 1st down, 20 yards that time for the Troop. Mike Shindo split to the near side. Running backs are Matt Martinez and Eric Jack behind Rocky Daly. McCartan is wing left. Daly's going to give to Jack, who skirts along the line of scrimmage, looks for a hole to cut up. He takes on tacklers and gets out across the 35 up to about the 37-yard line. Looks like a late flag was dropped in right there. Another penalty flag.
Eric Jack shows you his athletic ability, and there is another flag on the field, like Paul just said, showing his athletic ability by not falling down on there.
Looks like illegal participation going to be called against the Socorro Bulldogs. Another big penalty for Socorro and Coach John Parchman.
Let's see what they call. That's a big one. That's 15 yards. Here's the call. Illegal procedure, spearing or sticking, if you will. Using your helmet to make the tackle. That's called spearing.
Late hit as the official was right in on top of that play. It's going to bring up 1st down as the Troop now advances across midfield into Bulldog territory. 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 46-yard line. And Daly's going to give it to Matt Martinez, and he is going to be knocked down in the backfield. Coming up to make the stop, number 80 for Socorro, Rigo Espinosa.
Espinosa does a nice job. Good penetration. There he won the battle. And that was very good defensive heads-up football from the Socorro Bulldogs. Eric Jack now, with just under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter, he has picked up 110 yards on 8 carries, 2 touchdowns.
Loss of 3 on that play. Going to be 2nd down and 13 as McCartan splits out to the left side. Martinez and Jack behind Daly. Martinez comes out in motion to the near side. Daly's going to pitch back to Jack.
Sure.
Jack looking for room, and he is tripped up, but not before he gets ahead for a gain of about 8 yards on that play. Down to about the 40-yard line of the Bulldogs. Going to be...
Watch Jack just take the football from Daly on the pitch out. It's just a quick pitch. It's student body left. He gets the football, and they're already to the outside as the good trip up. But I was getting ready to say, as the Socorro Bulldog defense is just running, taking themselves out of the play as they run by the play altogether.
Bulldog defense needs to get off the field. They need to get the offense out there. To the near side, it's Watson, but they go to the run, and Jack is looking for room. He breaks a tackle, and he's down inside the 30-yard line, and another penalty flag coming in late.
Should be another flag on the play. Is the way his head jerked, it did look like a face mask, and the referees are talking about that again over here. And let's see what... Yeah, they will take it off on that.
Jack is up for 1st down yardage on that one. And
there you see the call.
They're going to tack on the penalty yardage on the face mask.
Here's Jack running right up the gut again on the outside, right off tackle. Watch this man come in here and grab his face mask as he makes the cut. Jack is almost stumbling here, and here's the face mask. Bingo. And there you see Eric Jack's face.
Troopers started this drive at their own 10-yard line after they took over on downs, and the Socorro Bulldog defense has aided them. 3 penalties worth 30 yards. On 1st and 10, Daly's going to give to Eric Jack, and he's going to be caught down in the backfield.
Socorro waiting on this again, the shooting linebackers. This time they didn't overshoot the play.
Lalo Barba in on the stop to make the knockdown. 6:23 now left to play in the third quarter. 19-7, Troopers on the drive.
Socorro just tried to stay in the game plan defensively and stop Eric Jack, and they can do this. They're only behind 19-7. Plenty of time. I think that's what Parchman's trying to say. Take your time.
Looks like a loss of about 6 or 7 yards. Going to be second down and make it 17. McCartan to the near side. McGraw split wide to the left. Daly checks his backs and doesn't like what he sees. He's going to call timeout.
They did it.
Eastwood calls timeout with 5:56 left to play here in the third quarter. They're up 19-7, and we'll be back in just a moment. 5:56 left to play in the third quarter. 19-7 Eastwood. And a lot of Eastwood people might remember a fellow by the name of Monty Daly.
Oh, yes.
He is Rocky's older brother. He graduated back in 1981, was a very skillful player, earned a scholarship to UT Austin.
Hook 'em horns. On top of the press box. Good shot of the crowd in the stadium here. All the cameramen on top of the press box in Socorro tonight.
Second down and 17 yards to go for the Eastwood Troopers. Mike Shindo shifts over to the right wing side. Pitch back goes to Jack, and he'll run to the near side. Breaks the tackle, and he's down for short yardage on that play before the stop can be made by Rigo Espinosa for Socorro.
20 years ago, there was a fellow that was running football for the University of Southern California. His name was O.J. Simpson. And the big play, they used to go in the huddle and just say, student body right, student body left. That's exactly what Eastwood's doing with Eric Jack. Student body left, student body right, and they pitch him the ball and let him go.
Third down and about 13 yards for the Troop. McGraw to the near side. McCartan split wide to the left. 5:18 left to play in the third quarter, and Daly's going to let this one fly on the timing pattern. It's going to be intercepted.
Perfect.
Big interception by Raul Oaxaca. Picks off Rocky Daly as he was looking down for his receiver. Raul Oaxaca against Fort Stockton intercepted a pass.
Watch Raul do this so very nicely. This ought to make the highlights on Friday Night Football. He'll sit back and wait for the ball. Does it just picture perfect. This is coaching. And he sits and waits for the ball, steps up, and then he becomes the receiver. Bingo! Is what you usually scream, and then you start running the football, but he's pulled down from behind.
Like I was saying, Raul Oaxaca, he picked off a big pass against Fort Stockton after they had driven inside Socorro's 20-yard line, and that helped preserve that win for Socorro. Socorro looking to come back right here on 1st and 10. They scrimmage, and they go to the run and get good yardage on that play. The ball carrier, number 33, Lalo Barba.
Barba does a nice job picking up a couple yards, and Barba picks up about 7 yards on the play. What they're trying to do is do that crossbuck to pick up some more yardage and cross up the defense from the Eastwood Troopers. Just under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Eastwood is ahead 19-7, and Socorro is not out of this game yet.
Trevino and Cardiel line up behind their quarterback, Tony Torres, the junior. Quick pitch goes back to Trevino. He tries to cut around the left side, and he is swarmed over as the Eastwood Trooper defense coming up with a huge play.
That was a fumble on that play, and very heads-up football by number 31. Who was it, Bobby Cardiel? Cardiel made a nice fumble recovery. I thought for sure that if he hadn't have been there.
Back to the original line of scrimmage about. Going to be 3rd down and 3 for the Socorro Bulldogs. They trail by 12 points. Tony Torres gives inside to Robert Cardiel, and he is hit and knocked down by number 72, Ernie Gutierrez. He'll be close to the first down.
I think you're right, Paul. Well, let's see where they spotted. They might even have to measure on this one. Cardiel said, I got to make this by myself, and he carried a couple players with him. They're talking about it. They're going to bring in the chains.
Cardiel, the 205-pound senior running back. He's a good student, and Coach Parchman says that this kid could develop into a college player.
Big fullback, and a lot. Everybody's always looking for fullbacks, so you can block for the stars. And he does a very nice job. Let's see if they make the first down.
The all-important stretch of the chains.
There it is, 1st and 10. 1st and 10 for the Socorro Bulldogs.
Drive stays alive as the Bulldogs get new life on a first down carry by Robert Cardiel. Going to be 1st and 10. Ball spotted at about the 28-yard line, maybe the 27.
Watch the shooting linebackers. Let's see if they'll blitz a little bit from Eastwood to hurry up the passing and messing up the Tony Torres in the backfield with his running backs.
3 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the third quarter as Mesa goes in motion to the far side. Torres is back to pass, and he guns it over the middle, complete to Raul Oaxaca. He hangs on as he takes a big hit from John McCartan, and it's going to be short of a first down. No first down yardage, it looks like it's going to be, where they give him the forward progress up to about the 39-yard line.
Oaxaca, all he does, he goes down about 8 yards, and he makes his cut over for a post pattern, and then the ball, it's a timing pattern. When he makes the turn, the ball is already in the air, and then when he turns to face the quarterback, the ball goes into his hands, and it's very, very difficult to defend against.
Jackie Alvarado split to the near side. Setbacks behind Torres as Vallejo comes in motion to the near side. Torres looking to pass. Guns it for Vallejo, and he is hit by John McCartan before the ball got there. It does appear penalty flag is down, and I believe it's going to be pass interference against John McCartan of the Troop.
No question about it. I mean, McCartan, it's just a timing deal, and when you're a defensive back, all you are taught when the ball's in the air, you go after the player, you go through him, and it's pass interference because he didn't give him a chance. McCartan does this perfect. Here comes the throw. McCartan comes up on Vallejo, and bingo. He's there before. He just a timing thing, and he's there before the ball is, and it's passing interference.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line for the Socorro Bulldogs. They need some points in a hurry. They're down by 12. Mesa goes in motion to the far side. Inside give is to Cardiel, and he is wrestled down after he gains about a yard.
That's what it looked like, the rodeo. Just grab around his neck. Hey, let me bring you down. And Cardiel's going, let me go, let me go. It's mad dog football. It's not steer roping.
Abel Madrid and Jackie Alvarado check into the offensive lineup for the Socorro Bulldogs. 2nd down and about 8 yards to go. 2 yards shy of midfield. Tony Torres comes under center. He gives out to Trevino, and Trevino meets troopers right at the line, and he ain't going to gain anything on that one.
This is when you walk back to the huddle, grabbing your ribs and your side, and you're saying, guys, we need to block. That really hurts. That really hurts. You got to block. They're not winning again. We're back. Remember, they had 22 yards, just a little over 26 yards, I should say, in the first half rushing. They're not winning on the line of scrimmage. They're going to have to start pushing those Eastwood troopers back.
Going to be 3rd down and about 7 as they give Trevino about a yard on that carry. Oaxaca is going to be split to the near side. Huge 3rd down now for Socorro and Coach John Parchman. Mesa in motion to the near side. Torres is back to pass. Here comes the backside pressure from Davis, and Torres is going to have to run out of bounds. He is thrown out of bounds. He gets back to about the original line of scrimmage. Going to be 4th down and punting time for Socorro.
Some of the fans here, of course, it's hometown, right? They're saying, hey, wait a minute, he was out of bounds. You guys ought to be throwing the flag, but it's not happening. It'll be 4th and 10, or I should say 4th and long for the Socorro Bulldogs.
Outside blitz coming from the left cornerback, Tyrone Davis. Come in untouched from the left side. Torres finally felt the pressure. They're going to kick it away. Looked like they were lining up to go for it.
I think that's what Eastwood was going. Wait a minute.
Angel Ronquillo in punt formation. It's a high snap, but he pulls it down. The kick is up. Another good punt by Ronquillo. Chases back Eric Jack all the way back inside the 5-yard line. Jack going to try for yards on the outside, and he is tripped up. Nice trip by Abel Madrid to bring down Eric Jack.
1st and 10 for Eastwood. Good punt. That time, that took up some time in the clock. Just under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. This is going real fast here in the second half. Score is still 19-7. Here's where Socorro is going to have to really stop when they had the ball first on that turnover to begin the third quarter. I was hoping that they would score and they could get in real quick, but they didn't. And the Eastwood Troopers, their defense, they stuck around, and they have the ball 1st and 10.
Socorro defense needs another big play, a fumble, something, an interception. McCarting comes in motion as the troop scrimmages on first down, and Matt Martinez has all kinds of daylight straight up the middle. Matt Martinez across the 40. Matt Martinez all the way down to the 45.
Big play, big play. They were looking for Eric Jack again, and Rocky Daly, he just gives it to the first man coming up right up the middle, gives it off to Matt Martinez, and he says, okay, let me start following the blocking, and he just puts it up there. And Raul Bajaca will come up and make the stop. There's a good block right there. That's an excellent block. And that's a touchdown saving tackle on that play.
32 yards on the carry by Matt Martinez. It gets the troop out with a little bit of breathing room now as they scrimmage at about the 48-yard line. Inside give, Matt Martinez, and he is met by Abel Madrid right as he got the ball. It's going to be no gain on that play.
Well, you know, when you go back and you call your number, you made a big gain. And Martinez is a big kid. He's going, oh, man, not again. I'll take the ball, but don't make me run that far, fellas.
Clock winds down to a minute left to play here in the third quarter. Troopers on the drive, and they're up by 12 points. 19-7 the score. John McCartan comes out to the near side on second down and 10. He goes in motion. Daly back to pass. A quick one. Wide open is Hubert McGraw. Somebody missed him. And McGraw's going to take this one down inside the 10-yard line on the catch and run. Somebody missed Hubert McGraw.
Actually, what's been happening is that they've been running the football, and the adrenaline is pumping for the Socorro Bulldogs. There's your fake right up the middle, and then he pulls the ball out, and Rocky says, okay, here we go. Where's McGraw? And if he had led them, and you'll see the ball is thrown behind Hubert McGraw, and if he'd have led him a little bit, there you see McGraw turning around, waiting for the football. This would have been 6 points. 46-yard pass play for the Eastwood Troopers makes it first and goal inside the 10-yard line of the Socorro Bulldogs.
Troopers come with three guys in the backfield. Eric Jack takes the ball. Not much running room as he tries the right side of the Socorro defense. Lalo Barba in on the stop along with Anthony Dellinger, the right defensive end. Clock continues to run. 11, now 10 seconds left to play in the third quarter. This might be the last play of the third period.
They won't get this play off, and this will be the end of the third quarter, and they'll switch sides. There we go.
The clock winds down, and the troop is inside near scoring. They're challenging 19-7. They're on top of Socorro, and we'll be back in just a moment.
I shop at Safeway because they make it so easy.
Into an screen.
I wouldn't be.
Mommy's just gonna buy you still.
Everything's fresh. Regular. You see, inventory. That's what Susan. And after that play, I said you're everything. Ever hope for in a moment. You can't beat it.
Welcome back to Socorro Stadium. Paul Zimmerman and Rob Camp with you. Eastwood Troopers up 19-7 on top of the Socorro Bulldogs, and they're challenging for what could be a huge touchdown right now. They come out of the T formation. Matt Martinez and Eric Jack back there. Inside running goes to Eric Jack, and he dives down near the goal line, going to be stopped just short.
Eric Jack. I thought he was going to have a third touchdown. They're going to be down there. Good shot from the cameraman from Paragon Cable. They'll be about on the 3-yard line, if I'm not mistaken. Second down and goal to go.
We have gone scoreless through the third quarter. Socorro Bulldogs were down at the Eastwood 10-yard line after a fumble recovery, but failed to punch it in for any points. And so far we have been going in between the 20s, and the troop now 3 yards away from Patered, out of the T formation. Flags will fly as there's a lot of bodies antsing up and down there.
Let's see what the referees call. They're going to talk about this just a second here and say, okay, now, what's going on? Did somebody's hand move on the offensive line? Offside against Socorro. And they'll just pick up the ball and put it back down.
Offside, Socorro.
Puts the ball about inside the 2-yard line. And Daly, he might even call his own number. By the way, Daly is 5 of 9 passes, 105 yards, and 1 touchdown so far.
Third down and about a yard to go for the Eastwood Troopers, looking to put up their 4th touchdown of this ball game. T formation once again, and the handoff is to Eric Jack, and he breaks the goal line plane, and he has his 3rd touchdown of the ball game.
tough thing to do when you keep on tripping over yourself or shooting yourself in the foot. And Eastwood now has the score lead by 25-7 over Socorro. And Socorro, you can see all the players, they're still in the ball game. All the players are off the bench. There's not one Socorro Bulldog sitting down, and they've all lined up on this side, on the side where they're trying to make the go for the PAT. Now Eastwood will call a timeout. They thought they were going to catch the Socorro defense off schedule.
Socorro Bulldogs jumped out on top with their first possession of this ball game. 8-yard touchdown pass from Tony Torres to Ernie Mesa. But since then, it's been all Eastwood. 25 unanswered points since Socorro's initial drive of this ball game. We're going to take time out. 11:18 left to play in the ball game. 25-7 in favor of Eastwood. We're going to keep it right here, and Eastwood Troopers looking to make big gains towards their defending their District 2 5A title. 6 teams legitimately in this race still. Hanks, Eastwood, Riverside, Ysleta, Socorro, and Bel Air, you would figure, Rob.
Sure, Bel Air. No one has mentioned Bel Air at all, but Bel Air is going to be in there. Don't you, with Bob Savage?
They're playing a big game against Riverside tonight. Chaparro's PAT is up, and it is no good.
No good. So we got 25-7, 11 minutes, 18 seconds to play in the football game. And Eastwood has the lead. Now, Socorro's going to have to come out throwing. You can see down here that the Socorro offensive coordinator is talking to his offense and his special team saying, watch the onside kick, just keep our heads up, and let's stay in this football game. We still have a pretty good chance to stay in this football game.
Touchdown drive for the Eastwood Troopers. 7 plays, drove the long field, Rob, 87 yards. Did it on Matt Martinez's
big run
on that first play of that drive. And Eric Jack carries the ball over from 1 yard out, his 3rd rushing touchdown of this ball game. And the Troopers are up 25-7.
Tonight, Jack has carried the ball, what'd I tell you, 15 times, 135 yards, 3 touchdowns. And every time he's picking up the football, that's 9 yards a carry. For you mathematicians, if you're into this kind of stuff.
Jack 9 yards over his season average of 126 yards.
And what Socorro's going to have to do, they're going to have to put a quick drive together and get back into the game, get the defense back off the field and get another touchdown in to see if they can stop the Socorro momentum.
Chris Chaparro going to boot it away. His team's up 25-7. It's a short kick. It's going to be taken by Ernie Mesa at about the 15-yard line. Mesa trying to find room around the right side, but he's pulled down from the back. Gene Scott got his arms around the legs of Mesa, and the Socorro Bulldogs start off in pretty good field position at their own 35-yard line.
You know, John Parchman was talking about Socorro doesn't have that many speed, have that much speed, but they have a lot of strength, and he took us through their new weight room that they're going to be doing. The weights are not in yet, but it's going to be probably one of the better weight rooms in the country. I want to add. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
I was very, very impressed by the tour.
Absolutely.
Abel Madrid's lined up on wing left. Socorro needs to get something going. Mike Trevino takes the inside. No, it's a bootleg.
All by
Torres
himself.
throws wide open to Luis Garcia. And Garcia is in a foot race with John McCartan, and Garcia is going to score.
Well, I tell you, we were talking about doing it. No flags down.
65-yard touchdown pass from Tony Torres to Luis Garcia.
And this will really bring the momentum right back on the Socorro side. Just under 11 minutes to play. Look at the crowd going bananas. As you can see, we are in Socorro. Great crowd on tonight's ball game. And the score is now 25-13. And then the crowd has been quiet until this. And we are going to come right back. Socorro will try the extra point.
Angel Ronquillo kicks it up, and it is good. 10:58 left to play in this ball game, and Socorro strikes back with an equalizing touchdown, 25-14. They're down by 11 points now, Rob, and I would say they have a chance now.
Oh, yeah, very much so. Like I said, they've never been out of the ball game. I keep on saying this, and I'll quit saying it. Socorro, all they have to do is get their defense, get it together and say, okay, guys, here's what we have to do. We're going to have to stop Jack. We're going to have to stop the passing. Just stop Eastwood. Get the offense back on the field so we can score it. Or the defense is going to have to force a fumble. They're going to have to do something like that.
Big plays like that have a way of swinging momentum. And Socorro, if they can keep that momentum, come up with a big defensive stand right now, get the ball back and score again. Ooh. Who knows what will happen? They've come from behind, like we have said, three out of four games this season.
Absolutely correct.
And they're trying to do it again right here with 10:58 left to play in the ball game. 25-14 in favor of Eastwood right now. But Socorro, I'd say they have Uncle Mo right now.
Well, they, if you take a look at the way the Eastwood Troopers have lined up, they are looking for an onside kick, but their second line is back 15, almost 20 yards. So let's see if they try an onside kick. He'll probably just kick this away.
Ronquillo approaches the ball. It's going to be an onside kick. The ball is loose.
Socorro has the football, my friend.
Oh!
Socorro has the football.
Onside kick. Works to perfection for Coach John Parchman.
You can hear the crowd. Hoo, hoo, hoo. I love that. That really gets to me.
Two big plays back-to-back. Socorro will start 1st and 10 at midfield. It does appear 50 yards to go now.
Number 80 for the Socorro Bulldogs coming up with a big play, and that is the 160-pound senior Rijo Espinosa.
1st and 10 from midfield out of the I formation. Tony Torres comes under center. Socorro Bulldogs looking to come back. Play action fake.
Yes, sir.
Complete to Cardiel out on the near flank, and Cardiel is upfield before he's finally pulled out of bounds by Tyrone Davis. Big gain of about 16 yards on that play.
Tony Torres just does a very nice play fake into the middle of the line. Let's watch this on the replay. Watch him fake right up here into the middle, and coming out of here is his fullback, his all-district fullback, number 31, to take the screen, even fake out our cameraman, and Torres says, here, I got a guy over here in this flat, and he'll throw it down, picks up 16 yards on the play. 1st and 10, and they're back in the football game. Go Dogs is what everybody's saying.
From the 34-yard line of the Eastwood Troopers, play action fake again, and Torres guns it over the middle, incomplete, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Abel Madrid. Trooper defense coming up with a big hit on that play.
John McCartan in on that play, and he says, nobody's going to make 2 catches in my area like that. When you're playing defense, and McCartan is a very aggressive defensive player also. And when you do that, when you have a player like that, he's not going to let you take too many plays like that before you start paying the price.
Jackie Alvarado split to the far side. Lining up on right wing is Ernie Mesa. Mesa now goes in motion, and Torres, play action fake once again. He's going to gun it to the far side. Incomplete, looking for Mesa. Good, a little bit behind him.
Breakdown in communication. Somebody told him to banana out, and he did a little bit of what you call a flag pattern. Banana out is when you go toward the sideline, and that's exactly what Tony Torres threw. But it looks like just a breakdown in communication with Torres and Mesa.
24 on that play. Tyrone Davis providing pretty good blanket coverage for the Eastwood Troopers. 25-14 the score. 10:22 left to play in this ball game.
We're all having that kind of fun.
Mesa in motion. And Torres guns it over the middle on the short high percentage pass. It's going to be caught by Luis Garcia. He's brought down by number 32 for the Eastwood Troopers, Hubert McGraw, along with Quincy Randolph as they combine to make the knockdown.
The 4th down and about 4 yards to go, and they might try a field goal on this play. 4th and 4. No, they're going to go for it. Torres is going to stay in there. They'll probably put this ball in the air one more time.
Huge 4th down play now arises for the Socorro Bulldogs. Jackie Alvarado split to the near side. Tony Torres, play action fake. He's back to pass. A little bit of pressure. Guns it complete to Cardiel. And there come the flags. Possibly pass interference on that one. A big 4th down play for the Socorro Bulldogs, and we'll have to check the flags. It came right at the point where the tackle was made.
I think it's going to be against. They're talking to the big fullback, but he's going to say no. Yeah, there we go. Pass interference against Eastwood. They'll decline the penalty. 1st and 10. Watch the athletic ability of Tony Torres. There's a lot of pressure on Torres from the backside. Here comes from the left side of your screen, and this is really something else. There's your pressure on Torres, and he does a very nice job of finding his receiver, and bingo. 1st and 10. Here comes the yellow hanky coming in. Awesome. 1st and 10. That was a big play for the Socorro Bulldogs. They're going to get right back into the football game if they can score again.
Socorro scrimmages from the 16-yard line. Motion to the near side from Ernie Mesa. Torres is back to pass. Guns it over the middle. Wide open was Raul Oaxaca. Threw it a little bit behind him. Oaxaca was wide open.
And the reason why he was doing like that is because the man in motion came down and he cleared out the two defensive backs of Eastwood, and Oaxaca just did a little banana in, and there was nobody in there. That was just a blown coverage from Eastwood, and they dodged a bullet on that.
Second down and 10 from the 16-yard line. Passing game is conserving the clock for Coach John Parchman. His team trails by 11. Vallejo goes in motion to the far side and back to passes Torres, looking for the end zone. Has his man, Jackie Alvarado, touchdown!
Oh my, what'd we say? The Bulldogs have come back 3 out of 4 games, and look at this. We got just a little over 9 minutes to play, and it's 25-20. Here's the replay of the touchdown. Nice, very nice concentration. Look at the concentration of the receiver, Tony Torres. Sits there, fires his ball. A lot of pressure on Torres, and he goes right into the middle of a crowd. Look at this. He goes up in the air. Let's play a little tip drill. 1, 2. Let me just go right and break the plane. 25-20, Socorro is trailing, and they have called a timeout to see with 9 minutes and 14 seconds to play here in the ball game.
That scoring drive, 7 plays, 50 yards, 25-20. We have a timeout on the field. 9:14 left to play in this exciting ball game. 25-20 in favor of Eastwood. We'll take timeout and be back in just a moment.
Celebrate, celebrate, Superstation TBS. We've got your movies, comedies, and action. Something special for you. Getting on the good times, America's greatest. Celebrate them, TBS. We're TBS. Celebrate the Superstation. Celebrate, celebrate, Superstation TBS. Celebrate.
Welcome back to Socorro Stadium, where the Socorro Bulldogs have charged back, scoring 2 touchdowns. Tony Torres connecting up top, 16-yarder to Jackie Alvarado, and it's 25-20 as the Bulldogs have come up now with 13 unanswered points, and right now they are going to go for a 2-point conversion with hopes of making this a 3-point ball game.
Very, very close, and this is a very big gamble.
Torres gives off to Trevino, and he's in.
Oh,
2-point conversion works, and the Socorro Bulldogs now trail by just 3 points with 9:14 left to play in this ball game.
Don't go anywhere. If you're gonna get a beer or whatever you're gonna be drinking, I tell you what, look at the crowd. These Socorro fans are right back into it, and on the other side they are lined up again on the track, about 3 or 4 deep onto the other side. Big ball game tonight. 9:14 to go in the football game. Eastwood is ahead by 3, and how many plays did that take on that drive, Paul?
7 plays, 50 yards after the onside kick. And the Socorro Bulldogs, who trailed by 18 points at one point, 25-7, have come up now with 15 points, and it's 25-22. Very, very much in this ball game.
Torres has now completed 11 passes out of his 19 attempts, 196 yards, 3 touchdowns for tonight. 2 of those have been in this quarter, as a matter of fact, in the last 2.5 minutes. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs as our monitor falls down on the ground. And, what can I tell you? And they will have a kickoff here. Everybody on their feet. Everybody is on their feet here at the stadium, and I mean to tell you, this is unbelievable. People were knocking on the window so they don't. There we go, so we can see the football game.
We got a monitor back, and Angel Ronquillo kicks it away. It's a deep kick, and this one's going to go out of bounds, and they're going to back it up 5 yards and kick it again.
That was really funny. I'm over here laughing, and I'm not trying to laugh at it, but there's a plate glass in between the press box and the monitor, and people are leaning up against this, and I think that they pushed the monitor off the table. Yeah, everything's all right. We'll try and kick it off again, and they'll push it back about 5 more yards. And great ball game. Paul's cut his hand. You won't be bleeding that bad. I'm
doing fine.
Paragon Cables proudly presents the high school game of the weekend. We have picked a barn burner for you, haven't we?
Wouldn't be football without a little blood on your hands.
There you go. I know a guy who used to play and just cut his finger or something like that and then wipe it on his pants, so especially when he was on national TV. And I don't know who that guy was.
Socorro Bulldogs trying to keep the momentum going, and Ronquillo kicked it away the first time, and he'll kick it away again. This one's going to go deep, and it's going to bounce right in front of Ish Martinez. I don't think it touched his leg. Martinez fields the ball, cuts upfield, little spin move, gets up, and a penalty marker is down right as the tackle is made.
Paul, it doesn't matter if the ball, it's a free ball after it travels 10 yards, especially on the kickoff. And if I'm not mistaken, this should be against, well, I'll wait for the referee. Yeah, they're talking to the Socorro Bulldogs holding against the Troopers. That'll push it back another 15 yards inside their 20-yard line, if I'm not mistaken, Paul. And they'll have 80 yards to go. They're going to probably just try and eat up the clock, and Socorro's defense is going to, they're back in the ball game, and motivation is on their side. They are going to really have to stop Eric Jack and the passing attack. I mean, yes, the running attack and the passing attack of Eastwood.
There is a lot of time left in this ball game. 9 minutes and 9 seconds. The majority of this fourth quarter still remaining to be played. 25-22 in favor of the Eastwood Troopers. They have the ball in a hole at their own 10-yard line. On 1st and 10, they're going to go to the run, give it to the money man, Eric Jack. He cuts around the outside, breaks the tackle of Dan Vallejo, and is finally brought down after he gets up for a gain of near 10 yards.
Another big run. You know who's going to get the football when the Eastwood Troopers have it, but you really can't bank on that, because he could give it to either Martinez, and then they could run forever. So you got to be very, very careful. Here's where the Socorro defense is going to have to reach down deep inside. And let's not forget that the Socorro Bulldog JVs won the district last year, and these kids are now playing varsity on the varsity level.
This is a junior-laden team. Jack gets across the 21. He gets the call again.
And that's about it.
And he's going to be stuffed.
Right there. Here's where the defense. Here's where everybody's sitting here going, "Come on, defense, come on." There's one nervous dad sitting next to the press box, looking at our monitor, going, "That's my kid making the tackle." Very nice tackle done by Socorro, and that'll make it, what, 2nd down and 10 yards to go. No gain on the play for Eastwood, and we got about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the football game. 25-22. Don't go anywhere.
Twin receivers to the near side. It's McGraw and McCartan. Split backs behind Rocky Daly on 2nd down and 10. Inside give is going to go to Eric Jack, and he breaks tackles, and he's out for good yardage, up for what looks to be another 1st down for the Eastwood Troopers.
Yeah, no problem whatsoever. Looks like a little mix-up in the backfield between Jack and Daly, but watch him mess up here on the exchange between Daly, number 12, and number 20, Eric Jack. Watch them run into each other. Whoops. Not a clean exchange, and then he gets rid of it, and then Eric Jack, just on his own athletic ability, takes off. 2 tackles. There's 3 tackles. There, he's finally pulled down.
3rd down and a yard. A huge play. Full house backfield for the Troop, and it's going to be Eric Jack. And it looks like he's going to have 1st down yardage for the Troop.
Socorro had 9 players on the, or I should say 10 players up to try to make the stop, and they had one guy. I thought that maybe Coach Todd Ware was going to fake it to Jack and throw deep, because if he would have broken that play, if Jack would have broken through that line, he would have had 6 points, because there wasn't anybody behind him.
Second 1st down of this drive for the Eastwood Troopers. They are up by 3 with 7 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the ball game. Troopers will scrimmage from the 32-yard line on 1st and 10. Split backs behind Daly, and Daly is going to be looking to pass. He guns it downfield. He has a man wide open. John McCartan makes the reception, and he's off to the races. Bumped out of bounds at the last minute by number 24, Ernie Mesa. But a huge play for Eastwood, and they swing the momentum back the other way to their side.
Boy, that takes the wind out of Socorro. Watch Daly just go back. McCartan has all the speed in the world, and all Daly does is hanging up and let John McCartan run under this football. Perfect play. Actually, what had happened, there you see the defensive back stumbling because he did almost fall, and then McCartan will come down there and not watch him being pushed out of bounds at about the 6-yard line or 7-yard line. 1st and goal for the Eastwood Troopers with just about 7 minutes to play in the game.
63-yard pass play on that one. McCartan connects with Rocky Daly. And Daly's going to pitch back to Jack on 1st and goal, and Jack is going to be in for the touchdown. Untouched. Untouched.
Yeah, I think student body right again. How about it, Paul? There's 10 guys on the field, and Eric Jack. Watch the entire right offensive. Look at this. Quick pitch. There you see 2 or 3 good blocks. Jack goes in untouched, and now the score is 31-22 as they take it. But Socorro has an explosive offense also, and they will try and come right back.
And still a lot of time left in this ball game.
Plenty of
Nearly
time.
7 minutes to play. 6:57 on the clock. Chaparro trying to attempt the PAT. He missed his last one.
No, sir.
And he misses this one, too.
That's the 3rd one he's missed tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Is that not correct? 6:57 to go in the ball game. Eastwood 31, Socorro 22, and I'll tell you what's going through their minds right now. If you're a coach, Todd Ware saying, "My goodness, did we score too fast?" Because look how quick it took. That could be running through a lot of people's minds right now. See what happens. So far now, Eric Jack has 164 yards in 20 carries, 4 touchdowns. There's John Parchman, Coach John Parchman of the Socorro Bulldogs. He's telling his players, "Look, guys, we got to get back into this ball game. We did it before. Let's kick some booty on the field."
Eric Jack, he has been the money man for the troop today. He's carried the ball into the end zone 4 times, a 5-yard touchdown run, a 40-yard touchdown run, 1 yard out, and now 6 yards out, accounting for 4 of the Troopers' 5 touchdowns in this game. 31-22, and the Troop will kick it off with 6:57 left to play here in this ball game.
Troop just defending their District 2-5A district crown, and they're going to try and hang on to it, but Socorro's going to give them a run for their money, just like last year.
Chaparro kicks this one. It's a high spinning kick, and it's going to be fielded by Mesa. He has blockers in front of him, and he's going to try to work it to the outside. Cuts up to about the 35-yard line. Penalty flag is down, and what else is new?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, they're gonna have to take those hankies, and they're gonna have to wash them big time. Take them to the dry cleaners this week. That's what is that, about the 13th penalty for tonight?
I don't know, Rob, but flags on the field like bees on honey tonight.
A lot of yellow is what we used to say. It's against the Eastwood Troopers, personal foul against the Eastwood Troopers, and that'll march the ball. That's a big penalty.
Untimely penalty for the Troopers. It'll give the Socorro Bulldogs pretty good field position.
Just this side of the 50-yard line.
Step it up right about to midfield to the 40, about the 48-yard line of the Socorro Bulldogs, and they'll start just shy of midfield. 6:51 to play.
Here we go. Let's see what Socorro and John Parchman has on their minds.
Let's see if Torres goes back to the air. They're in the eye. Officials setting it all up, and they give him the go-ahead signal. Torres comes under center. Wing right is Abel Madrid. Play action fake again, and Torres guns it over on a short percentage pass to number 31, Robert Cardiel, out of the backfield. He gets ahead for a gain of about 7 yards on the play. Going to be 2nd down and 3.
Cardiel is doing a very good job. He goes up and he holds that line, the linebacker, I should say, until he comes through. And then with all the pressure coming on Torres just flips the ball over to Cardiel, and he picks up 5 to 7 yards each time they do that until Eastwood stops that. They're going to do that for the rest of the night, it looks like.
Raul Oaxaca splits to the near side. Setbacks behind Tony Torres. Motion to the near side comes from Ernie Mesa. Torres looking to pass again. Guns it complete to Oaxaca over the middle.
Ooh.
He is hit hard by Hubert McGraw, but not before he makes the reception for another 1st down for Socorro.
Every time they make the 1st down, they have to move the chains. They stop that clock. Watch Oaxaca come across the middle. John McCartan cannot keep up on 2 players, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're isolating on John McCartan, and here comes McCartan right there on the tackle. But the guy who makes the big play is Oaxaca as he cuts across the middle. 1st and 10 again. The clock is starting to move again. Just less than 6 minutes to play. 31-22. Socorro on the move.
From the Trooper 34-yard line, Ernie Mesa comes in motion. Torres looking to pass. He's under pressure. Figueroa right in his face. He lets this one fly. Almost a dangerous ball as Matt Martinez tried to charge for the interception.
Ooh. That was very, very close.
Looking for
young
Jackie,
mistake.
Yeah, looking for Jackie Alvarado, but just didn't quite have any chutzpah on that one.
Right. What you do when you're throwing like this, you throw out here to the sideline. He did it right. He did that right by throwing the ball away, but not into the middle of the field. What you do is you throw it to the sidelines, and then nobody can make the catch. Second down and 10 yards to go. Fourth quarter, just under 6 minutes to play in the ball game.
9-point Bulls for the Eastwood Troopers right now. Dan Vallejo in motion to the near side. Inside running game, and that's new on this drive. It's going to be number 31, Robert Cardiel, carrying straight up the middle.
Well, Socorro has gone with 4 straight passes in a row, and the rushing lineman for Eastwood looks like they could pick up maybe 5 or 6 yards on that play, maybe even longer, and I think that's what Coach John Parchman was looking for, to see if those players would run by the running back, but they weren't fooled whatsoever. Just good coaching. Just good coaching. 5 minutes, 15 seconds to play. Very close football game in Socorro. They're behind by 11, but they've come back and they've scored 2 touchdowns in the in the fourth quarter here. Let's see what goes on.
3rd down and 6 from the Trooper 29, and Torres is going to look to pass again. He is going to be sacked. Loose ball on the field. The Troopers have recovered. Are they going to call this one a fumble? Yes. Eastwood comes up with a big break. The sack on Tony Torres, and 4 minutes and 57 seconds now showing on this clock as the Troop comes up with a big play.
Big turnover. Tony Torres should have just thrown this football away. And here comes all the pressure right up the middle. There you see the good fake. And Torres still has the football. And there he gets stripped of the football. You can't hold it like there. And falling on it is number 72 for the Eastwood Troopers. And that would have to be Eddie Gutierrez, the defensive tackle.
From the 45-yard line, pitch back goes to Jack. Jack hurdles tacklers, and he is finally yanked down, but not before he gets forward for about a gain of 5.
Eric Jack reminds me so much of Marcus Allen of the Los Angeles Raiders. He picks up the football, he gets the defense going one way, and then he just cuts back. And he is just, let me be honest, he's one of the premier running backs here in the Southwest, and especially in the city. 2nd and 5, I'm not saying anything new.
Eric Jack has been the MVP of this ball game for the Eastwood Troopers. 4:25 left to play. Rocky Daly, his team up by 9 points. Pitch back goes to Jack. He barely handles this one. Penalty flags fly again as Jack gets up near first down yardage, perhaps a yard shy of the first.
I don't think they'll probably bring this one back. Holding against the Eastwood Troopers, go back 10 yards. And they'll start it all over again. But, nothing new in the Eastwood Trooper game plan. Number 20 again will just, Daly will just turn around and pitch it back to Jack, and we'll probably come towards you this time. Instead of running toward the far sideline, let's try it to this sideline. Or they could fake it to Jack and let Daly run the football. They're not going to throw it, I don't think.
And how huge that sack and fumble is now. It looms bad for the Socorro Bulldogs, much to the chagrin of Coach John Parchman, trying to get a couple of guys off the field here before they start this play. Troopers, 2nd down and about 15 yards to go. Daly out of the backfield, guns it downfield, looking for John McCartan. Incomplete, up and out to the far sideline. Got to be 3rd down and about 15 yards to go for the Troop.
As I was saying, they wouldn't throw the football. They don't want to get the clock stopped, and Daly goes back to pass. So, he's just trying to get the deal. I would have been caught flat-footed. And that pass just went awry. Just under 4 minutes to play in the football game. This Paragon Sports Exclusive is being brought to you by your neighborhood Safeway store and the El Paso Federal Teachers Credit Union.
3rd down and 15 for the Eastwood Troopers. Split backs behind Daly. He's looking to pass again. He lets it fly for McCartan. He's connected with him several times, but the ball is going to be intercepted.
Bingo!
Intercepted at the 25-yard line by Ernie Mesa for the Socorro Bulldogs, and they'll take it over 1st and 10 with 3:53 to go in this game.
Isn't that Ernie's 2nd interception of the night, if I'm not mistaken? He did another one down there on the far sidelines, and he does it again. And that ball was just thrown just a little bit. It was just hung up just a little bit too much. And don't forget this game, you can't, for a VHS copy of tonight's game, you can call beginning Monday on the weekdays, 775-7441. Tapes are $13.98. Comes up to $15.
Socorro Bulldogs scrimmage 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. It's Tony Torres back to pass, pressured by Figueroa.
Ooh.
Guns it downfield, but incomplete to the diving Dan Vallejo at the 32. Nice coverage on the play by the Eastwood Troopers, Hubert McGraw.
Good play by Hubert McGraw, but also the guy who made the play was George Figueroa coming in on that play, on all the pressure.
Figueroa played big on that fumble on Tony Torres. He was the first man in.
He stripped the ball. He almost did it again. Torres is going to have to keep that football underneath. When he's getting ready to throw it, he just had to fling it.
2nd down and 10 from the 26-yard line for Socorro. They need a touchdown in a hurry. And back to passes Torres. Big pressure from the nose guard.
There should be a flag, passing interference.
Flag is down as Cardiel tried to come up with that ball, but Matt Martinez perhaps getting there a little bit too soon. Big pressure once again from the nose guard for the Eastwood Troopers, number 44, Jorge McNichol.
Jorge does a nice job on the... I just don't understand how they're just letting the Eastwood Troopers come in just too quick. And what happened there is when you roll out like this, and Jorge McNichol was coming in, and Matt Martinez is all over the fullback for the Socorro Bulldogs, and that's Robert Cardiel. I want to call him Bob Cordell, who's our and Martinez is pulling on his jersey, and the referee caught that one. So that'll be first down. It should just be a 5-yard penalty, if I'm not mistaken, and it'll be 1st and 10. 3:43 to go for the. It's going to be a 15-yarder. 3:43 to go in the ball game. 11-point lead for the Eastwood Troopers, and Socorro has the ball about the. What are they on? The 35, 36-yard line. But they scored 2 touchdowns very, very quickly. Very, very quickly here earlier in the 4th quarter.
They need another big one right here. Tony Torres has thrown for all 3 touchdowns. He's been a passing wonder tonight for Socorro. Ernie Mesa comes in motion to the near side. Play action fake. Torres guns it downfield. Complete to Mesa. No, they're going to call it incomplete as he was stuck hard.
Tyrone Davis. And I mean to tell you, that hurts big time. And they're going to have to get him up off the field. They're going to have to help him out, because that really does hurt.
Perhaps has the wind knocked out of him. Ernie Mesa, big play receiver for the Socorro Bulldogs. Last year, over 500 yards in receptions as a sophomore.
There you see a kid showing a lot of guts tonight. That hurts when you get the wind knocked out. You know when you run and your side starts to hurt and burn? It's like that's what it feels like, but your lungs are burning, your chest, not your side.
And you can't think of anything. You're in the black void.
Right.
2nd down and 10 for Socorro at their own 36-yard line. Play action fake to Trevino. Torres puts it up complete out to the near side to number 31, Robert Cardiel. Stop made on the play by Quincy Randolph, the outside linebacker.
Quincy is all over Cardiel, but this is a very nice play. They've gone to this all night. They are taking exactly what the Eastwood Trooper defense is giving. Cardiel is up the middle, and it's one-on-one. Cardiel doesn't have a lot of speed, but he does have some sure hands, and Quincy Randolph, almost another block pass right there. Here's Cardiel coming to the inside of your picture, and here's Quincy Randolph showing some speed, pulling him down.
Big 3rd down and about 4 yards to go for the first. Oaxaca split to the far side, inside give Trevino, and he has met nothing doing straight up the middle. Tackle made on the play by the front wall of that Eastwood defense, number 44, Jorge McNichol.
4th down, and they're going to have to, and about 6 yards to go. This is where you go to your playbook and say, okay, where can I get 6 yards? I'm going to have to do something. What's been working all night? That's where your coaches upstairs help you out. Watch for the pass over the middle again. Let's see if they do this.
And the clock becoming a foe for Socorro. 2:28 left to play in the ball game. One wide receiver split to the far side. Looks like somebody jumped off sides. We're going to check whether or not there was movement as flags fly right as the ball is about to be snapped. Mad Dog fans banging on the plexiglass front of this press box once again. It's going to be encroachment against Eastwood.
That makes it. Now, watch right in the middle. This is very smart. Here comes the Eastwood Trooper right through your right side there. Bingo. There he makes contact, but the center gets smart and he snaps the ball. Had he not snapped the ball, that wouldn't have been encroachment. So that'll be 4th down. Well, maybe not. Looks like they...
That's going to be enough for the first down. It does appear.
It does appear that way. Offside, here's the call against Eastwood. 1st and 10.
Second 1st down by penalty on this drive. Socorro needs to get in the end zone in a hurry with 2:20 to go. They trail by 9. Ernie Mesa goes in motion to the far side. Torres is back to pass, looks downfield, and he is hit hard and thrown down by Bobby Flores.
All preseason city pick. I should say preseason city pick.
Bobby Flores shooting the gap and sacking Torres for what appears to be a loss of about 10 yards on that play.
That really hurts when you get grabbed like that and you're thrown on the ground.
Big defensive play for the Troopers once again, and we're under 2 minutes to play now. 1:50, and the clock continues to run. Second down and about 22 yards to go for the Socorro Bulldogs, and one man limping up to the line of scrimmage. But he's got a heart, and he's playing anyway. Dan Vallejo in motion. Inside give Cardiel, and not much running room at all straight up the middle.
They're just waiting for this now. 1.5 minutes to play. Very good crowd tonight, and it is now third down and about half the real estate here in the lower valley. They're going to get this first down. They're going to have to consult a real estate agency, not their playbook.
Jesse Maesa trying to shake out a bum leg right now. Into the ball game, Oaxaca and Ernie Mesa with 1 minute and 9 seconds now left to play. Clock still running.
Is that their big number 71, that big lineman?
Big 71 limps up to the line of scrimmage once again. Split backs behind Tony Torres, and officials call time. Dead ball.
Should be delay of game against the Bulldogs. Pushes them back another 5 yards. I mean, you know. They need to get down to the Eastwood 43-yard line, and they are now on their 31.
It's never over until it's over, but with 58 seconds left on this clock, it appears the Socorro Bulldogs are headed for their third straight loss, while the Eastwood Troopers headed for their second straight win.
And the fat lady is starting to warm up her vocal cords. I can hear it.
Trevino and Cardiel behind Torres, motion to the near side from Mesa, and Torres will keep the ball and get hit as he crosses the line of scrimmage by Jorge McNichol. 34 seconds now left to play, and fourth down and a bundle.
They're going to call a timeout. They'll call a timeout. Socorro wants to talk this over. Basically, what they do is, and this is really done in practice. You send everybody in the kitchen sink, everybody that's eligible, back, and you throw, and then you just throw the ball as far as you can, and hope for it's called a Hail Mary. You know, I mean, everybody knows what this is. I mean, really. And then you just throw it and hope somebody will catch the tip.
Appears like it's going to be another win for the Eastwood Troopers, but a very interesting ball game. Socorro's jumped out on first and had this Mad Dog crowd wild. They were up 7-0, but the Troopers stormed back and led at halftime by a big margin, 19-7. Got up by as many as 18 points at 25-7, but then two unanswered touchdowns by Socorro pulled them back to within 3 points after a successful 2-point conversion. But then Eastwood comes back with another big play. Eric Jack scores on a 6-yard touchdown run, 31-22. That's where we stand right now. 29 seconds left to play. Fourth down. A little bit of movement. There comes a flag. Torres back to pass, and he's going to eat this one. Jorge McNichol puts a hand on top of him.
Jorge McNichol might be injured. I really mean that. He took when Torres went down, it's legal procedure against the Bulldogs, but that will be declined, and it should be Eastwood football. What happened there is Torres went down, and Jorge McNichol, so he wouldn't jump on him, jumped over. That was very good sportsmanship, and he landed on that ankle run, but he got up. He's going to be all right. Just less than half a minute to play here. Next week, we are going to be we have a great football game in store for you. It'll be the Burgess Mustangs and the El Paso Tigers, and there's a shot of Todd Ware on the sideline. I think we have them one more time against Hanks, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Well, he's got to be happy with how his team has performed today. They'll probably run out the clock with 24 seconds left to go. Daly will probably go back. He goes to one knee. He's touchdown. And the clock should run out in this ball game. Like you said, we're going to have a 1-5A game next week. Burgess, Coach Milton Henry's team, is going to be taking on the El Paso Tigers. And Socorro calls timeout with 13 seconds left to play.
Now, Burgess runs a wishbone. The El Paso Tigers, they run a wishbone, but kind of a wishbone. They have a couple kids. They have a brother deal on there, which is very, very interesting. Their names are the Gillette brothers. One is Victor, the running back, and Bobby Gillette. Those kids are pretty big, and they've done an In El Paso High School, what they've done is they have revamped their entire offense. They made 6 or 7 changes here a couple weeks ago, and they won big. And I understand they were tied tonight, 8-8, in going into the third quarter, I think against Andrews. So it should be a very, very interesting game next week.
13 seconds left on the clock. Daly waiting for the official signal to go back and kneel down once again. Those are the easy plays, the ones that don't hurt, and probably the ones that feel the best, as you know that your team is going to gain a victory here tonight.
Especially in district play. That's the end of the football game. Our final score is Eastwood 31, Socorro 22. We'll come back and take a look at next week's game and go over some final stats. There's our final. We'll be back after this word.
I'm a student, so I'm going to get a loan for my new Barbie jam. Can I open an account? Sure, I'm going to put my money in my savings.
Hi, Jason. Are you depositing your allowance?
Yeah.
Well, now that you're a member, your whole family can join the credit union and take care of all their financial needs in one place. When I was a little girl, I financed my first Barbie house here. But nowadays, I use my Gold MasterCard. Oh, hi, Mr. Brown.
Hi there. Need some help, young man?
I know just how you feel.
The El Paso Teachers Federal Credit Union is looking for people who need money because we have low rates, convenient terms, and over $15 million to loan. See us at one of our 3 convenient El Paso locations.
Welcome back to Socorro Stadium. Paul Zimmerman, Rob Camp, as we have just watched the Eastwood Troopers defeat the charging Socorro Bulldogs, who came back strong 31-22.
They just came up short tonight, Paul. It was very interesting. Eastwood just had some good things going for them. Rocky Daly finished up the game with 1 touchdown in the air. He threw 13 times, had 7 completions for 67 yards. Watson went 1 for 1 and 46 yards. The big name, Eric Jack, 21 carries, 169 yards, 4 touchdowns, and the others. Martinez, of course, had a couple of big runs also.
Those statistics provided by Eric the Shadow Lynn, our ace statistician.
Eric does a nice job.
And after we have completed our second district game for both of these schools, Eastwood Troopers go to 4-1 overall on the season, 2-0 in district play. The Socorro Bulldogs now 2-3 overall, and 0-2 in district as their losing skid continues.
Now Socorro should play Parkland next week, and I think that'll help their kids get back up. And Eastwood, who are they going to be playing next week?
Coach Bill Parsons and the Ysleta Indians will be up at Eastwood Stadium next week as district play continues. Another very interesting game in district play going on tonight. Riverside at Bel Air. Interesting to see how that one turns out. I think you have statistics for Socorro.
Yes, Socorro rushing. They ended up the game 47 yards on, listen to this, 30 attempts. 30 attempts for 47 yards. That's less than a yard every time they had the football on the ground. Torres finished the night 26 attempts, 14 catches, completions I should say, 221 yards, and he had 2 touchdowns in the air.
Socorro Bulldogs made a furious comeback. They trailed 25-7 late in the third quarter, but then Tony Torres threw 2 touchdown passes, one of 65 yards, one of 16, and they were right back in this ball game at 25-22 to within a field goal. But then the Troopers came back with the equalizer and effectively stomped out the Socorro comeback. Eric Jack scored on a 6-yard touchdown run, 31-22, a 9-point goal. Socorro fumbled away on their next offensive possession, and basically that was the ball game. Once again, the final score, Eastwood 31, the Socorro Bulldogs 22. We'll be back in just